there, did you know I have a second channel where I play video games exclusively? And sometimes you'll see these guys. But I'd appreciate it if maybe you check it out and subscribe. So anyway, think about it. You can find it on my channel page. Scroll down under my other channels, and it's Batty J Games. So come see it, come check it out, and you can find where all my game content has gone. All right, back to the video. What's up, ghouls? It's Batty Jade, and I went on a little trip to the beach about almost exactly a month ago for my birthday. And while I was doing my beachcombing stuff, I found something that I thought was pretty cool. And it's this big old stick. I wanted to make this like a witch's staff or a wizard's staff. Yes, Harley. And so that's what I'm going to be working on for my next creative project. So I've never done anything like this before. I've never worked with wood before, so I don't know how into that I'm going to get. But yeah, I see a very cool crystally witch's staff, so I'm going to be bringing that out as best as I can with the tools that I've got, and I'm hoping it turns out very epic and cool, and you know, I've got a magic implement at the end of it. But, I mean, it's already a very cool piece. But, I'm hoping to make it extra special, spooky, magical. So, let's get started, and I hope for some luck. Okay, so the first step I totally forgot about at first, but that's washing your piece of wood that came from the nasty, dirty beach. First I thought that maybe just wiping it down would take care of it, but that wasn't doing anything but making my rag nasty. So I tried this for a couple of minutes, but then totally gave up and took it into the bathtub. I gave it a really thorough shower and just really got in there and just realized how filthy dirty it was. But that meant that I had to then wait days for it to dry, which sucked because I really wanted to start this project, but I had to wait more because I was dumb. Okay, so I bought all these smoky quartz points from Aliexpress, pretty cheap, like around $3 each, I think. A few different sizes, and I want to put them all on top of my staff. So my plan for this is to just drill a little slot for each of them to sit in. So to do that, I'm gonna start off by just tracing around with a pencil and numbering them all off. And so I'm numbering the hole, and then I'm taking a piece of masking tape and numbering that and putting the tape on the crystal so I can match it later to its hole. And I just do that with all the crystals until I've got them all kind of sitting where I want them and where I think that they look nice. Okay, for the next part, I plan to use a Dremel to basically dig out all the little notches for the gems to sit in. And the first Dremel I had was this cheap $10 one, this Drill Master from Harbor Freight. I think they call it something different now. It's under a different name, but it's the same cheap $10 one. It's basically a piece of garbage. It doesn't tight enough on the bits to even hold them into place. So while you're trying to do something with them, they're basically coming out of the socket. So it's a waste of $10. I would advise you, if you want to get a Dremel, not to get this. After I tried to use this, I went back to Harbor Freight and I bought the next cheapest one, which was I think around $24. And it was just infinitely better. It was much bigger, much nicer. It came with a wrench to fully tighten the bits on, and it worked fine for me the whole rest of the project. So just spend a little bit more money and get an actual working Dremel. It's worth it. So here I am now with my new Dremel that actually works. But I was having problems with the bits that I was trying to use. I started off with like a diamond bit, but it was just so small for what I was trying to do, because I'm trying to do like fairly large areas, and I'm taking like a lot of wood out to fit the gem pieces in. And I'm trying to make like fairly straight lines and flat areas, especially on the bottom. So this really wasn't the bit to use, and it wasn't working very well. And I also tried a bit after this. It was like a really big kind of like diamond bit burr again. I was looking for ones that would fit into the Dremel I got, because it would only take like I think 1/8 and 1/16, and so like none of the woodworking bits that I was really finding would fit in here. They were too big, so I was kind of confused about like what to use. And then eventually, after getting really frustrated, I went online and did more research, and I found a better bit to use. So here's the bit that I found that worked for me the best. It's the bit that I researched that was kind of for the hexagon shape that was flat on the bottom that I was trying to get. I got mine at Lowe's. It was the only place that I could find that had it in stock. Or sorry, not Lowe's. Home Depot. I tried to get it at Lowe's and they were out of stock. So Home Depot was the only one that had this set of bits. But they were surprisingly kind of expensive, like $14 for a set of 2. So that sucked. But it was worth it because it made it that much easier to Dremel out the wood. Like, so unbelievably easier to get these shapes. I mean, they still don't look like great. Like, I couldn't get them to look fantastic, but it was good enough to where I could get the wood out in a relatively basic shape so that the gem would fit inside. Just enough to where it would glue good enough and it would look good enough. I mean, it's the top of the staff. No one's gonna be looking at how good of a job I did. So I wanted to use a pretty strong glue for this one, and I'm using this glue called E6000. And the only downside with this glue is it takes a long time to cure. Like 24 hours to cure. So you have to secure whatever you're gluing. Not like super glue and hot glue, which I prefer working with because I'm really impatient and I like things to set like immediately. So I'd never actually worked with this glue before. So I did 2 like test crystals and I held it in place with masking tape and it actually worked like super duper well. All I had to do was put the glue into the hole that I'd made, put the gem on top, and then take the masking tape and basically just tape around the top point of the gem, and it taped in place like really securely, and then I just let the staff sit untouched for 24 hours, came back, and it was glued really securely in place. So I may start using this glue more often for projects that I can let sit for a little while, because this glue held really well and was really secure, and I've had a problem with glues not doing that on me other times, so I'd really like to start using this more often. And after I did all the big smoky quartz, I got a whole tiny bag of smoky quartz to do. So I just pop this open and do the same thing with all these tiny ones that I did with all the big ones. So a bunch more work. Look just super bandaged up. And then it all gets unbandaged. And now I think it's actually starting to look pretty cool. So I've got this crystal moon that I want to hang down from the staff. And to do that, I need to wire wrap it. So I've got this 18 gauge silver artistic wire, which I'm gonna try to do that with. And I watched a couple of tutorials before starting this, and I thought I had this down. I thought it was gonna be super easy. I thought it was gonna be relaxing. I thought, you know, this could be a new hobby for me. And then I started. And then I realized that this was made by the devil. And I hate it, and I never want to touch it again ever in my life. And I don't know how people do this. I think they may be actual witches. I honestly have no scientific idea what the people in the tutorials I saw were actually using or what they did, because it was supposed to be the same materials as me, but how they humanly were able to get different results, I cannot comprehend, because the wire simply did not want to do anything that I wanted it to do. It did not behave in a way that seemed like an inanimate object should even behave. It wanted to make garbage. It wanted to make angry garbage, and that's all I can really say on the matter without going into further detail. I am not happy with what I made. Like, I'm kind of angry with what I made, and I'm not able to say that a lot, because I feel like even when I'm not able to make something stupendous, Like, I usually don't hate it because I'm pretty creative, but this was just bad. Like, I don't think it's really even functional. Like, it could fall apart at any time, and I fully believe that. So I'm counting this part as a failure, and I have no thought that it will ever succeed. So I don't know how to make it any better. If you want to see wire wrapping, go watch somebody else, because I have no hope. Oh yeah, I also wire wrapped 2 slices of agate. I tried a different technique for each one. They both sucked. So I can't say which one was better. Yep, that's it. Okay, so then I wanted the bottom of the staff to look like it had scorch marks from like casting spells and stuff. So first I thought maybe I could color it with like charcoal. So I went and like found charcoal and burnt like briquettes and stuff from like the barbecues outside. And so I tried coloring it with that, but that didn't work like at all. So I stopped that, and then I just grabbed some black paint in like frustration and just like painted it on with my bare hands and rubbed it in, and then like took some leftover charcoal dust and like rubbed that over on the top to like give it kind of that dusty effect coming off of the black on top. And I liked the look of that, but definitely the paint worked a lot better. I wanted to make it a little more natural, but paint is best. So then I had some clear, kind of white quartz polished stones that I found at my rock store, and I decided to inlay them into like the side of the staff. So I did kind of the same thing. I put them about where I wanted them to be. I marked them with a pencil, and then I just drilled a small hole with the Dremel where they could sit in slightly, and then just glued them with the glue and held them with the tape. I also made some runes and symbols that I carved into the stick, just some kind of Viking runes and some witches kind of symbols for protection, and some for creativity and spell casting. And so I just picked a few that I really liked, and I drew them in first with a pencil, and then I did get some little carving chisel tools, and those are basically what I used. I did give the Dremel a quick little try, but it just kind of jerked and jumped too much, so I just stuck with the actual little hand carving tool for this one. Next is finishing off the stick, and I wanted to use boiled linseed oil just because I didn't think that I could use like an actual like finisher, because you're supposed to do that in like really clear, smooth, one stroke type of deal, and this thing is so long I didn't think I could do that. So I got linseed oil, and I kind of like it and I kind of don't. I didn't really like the smell. It wasn't horrible, it wasn't a bad smell. I'm just really sensitive to all weird kinds of smells, and so I didn't particularly like it. And I'm still not sure if I like the color that it turned out. It did bring out lots of really natural different tones in the wood, which I thought was really cool, but I do kind of miss that really light, light gray, like, really bleached color that the wood was before from the beach. I really, really liked it, and so I'm kind of really disappointed that I had to lose that by finishing the wood. Part of me kind of wishes I hadn't done it, but all the different tones that came out was really interesting as well, so it's hard to say. But I did kind of want to finish the wood and give the linseed oil a try, and so I did that by using my really cool old rag of Rainbow Bright. If you remember Rainbow Bright, you're probably getting close to your 30s, if not past your 30s. I don't even remember watching Rainbow Bright, but my mom gave this to me, so I thought, why not have a chance to actually use it? And you're supposed to rub this, you're supposed to basically apply this oil, let it seep into the wood. The bottle says for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then you're supposed to wipe off any excess. I actually really didn't have any excess. I don't know if my wood was just extra thirsty, or I didn't apply enough oil on when I applied my oil. I thought I was getting lots of oil onto the rag, but maybe I just really didn't get enough. I was afraid of getting oil everywhere, and especially because I had to lean my stick because it is like almost 7-8 feet tall. I have to lean it up a bunch of things in my room to have it sit against to stabilize it, so I didn't want it getting a bunch of stuff dirty and gross. But I'm not sure I gave it enough oil, because none wiped off 10 minutes later, and I thought I put a lot on, but none came off at all, so that was kind of confusing for me. But other than that, I think it came out pretty good, although I do wish it kept more of a gray tone, because I really preferred like the gray color scheme. I don't really like warm toned wood. I really liked the beachier bleached wood, so I wish I could have kept some of that. Also, I've got some silver paint and some black paint, and I just want to paint inside my sigils a little bit, just to make them pop just a little bit. I could have left them and it would have been fine, but I just put all that work into making them, so I just want to make sure I can see them just that little bit better. Lastly, I've got some black suede cord to tie up my moon and my agate slices. shouldn't have given Quinn catnip. Now I'm afraid for her life. But we made it to the end of the video, and I guess I successfully made a magical staff. It looks pretty cool if you don't look super close. I'm not the happiest with it because I can see all the tiny scuffed spots, and I kind of am not super happy with the color. But I mean, it's still pretty cool. It's still a giant staff with like crystals and stuff in it. So I mean, it's cool enough. It's cool enough, I guess. What? What's the matter with you? What's the matter with you? What do you want? You want catnip too? Here. That's for your crinkle ball. But I found out that, like, woodworking is way harder than I thought it was. I thought it was going to be way easier to control, and, like, none of it is. Like, Dremels slip and go all over the place, and just, like, make a lot of marks that you don't want it to. Like, even using little tools, it still goes all over the place. And God, do I hate wire working, whatever you call it. I never want to do it again. I don't understand why nothing turned out the way I wanted it to, and nothing just ever did what it should have done. I must have watched some tutorials over and over and over and over, and I couldn't figure it out. Not for the life of me. I'm like, I did exactly what you did, but this isn't doing that, and I don't get it. I hate it. Just, it didn't turn out the way I had it in my head, so like, maybe it looks super cool, but like, part of me just wanted it to look cooler, but I got so frustrated, I just wanted it to be done. So, it's done. So I made it. So it's good. So it's fine. And, I don't really want to touch it or look at it for a long, long time. So, anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Maybe you liked it better than me. And at least now you know what kind of bit to hopefully use to try to make a weird little hexagon to fit a gem into a piece of wood. So, you're welcome. And if you did enjoy it, please like, subscribe, and leave me a comment, because I like to see your comments. I like reading them, and makes my day. So, yeah. And I'll see you again in the next video. Bye-bye!